can I ask everyone to write down on the board, what do you understand about the word racism? I have given you the drawing tools, so you should be able to write the answer on the board. Right? Just click on that little pencil icon there, or the T icon. If you click on it and then click on the board, you should be able to type a text there. Oppressing or hating on other races, okay? Something that has to do with color, all right? Any more examples or things that comes up to mind when we talk about racism? Oppressing or hating on other races, yeah, it sounds about right. Something that has to do with the color, yeah, the color of the skin, okay. Anything else? Okay. Their work, okay. What does that mean by their work? Yeah, okay, fabulous. Thank you for letting me know, Leona. What do you mean by their work? Can you explain more on that? Now, if you guys need to use the microphone, please do let me know, okay? I can give you the microphone right so you can talk and explain more on your point. Having the mindset of how other races are beneath them or worse than them. Okay, yeah, that's very good. Ah, okay. Very interesting there, Leona. Okay. Black people is fast and white people is better at swimming. Ah, or sometimes people say go back to your country. Yep. Not sure if yeah, that term is also very, very racist. Yeah. I've seen several Yeah, right? Or especially if they're like American citizens and they're just mixed blood, then they look Asian, but they're actually American citizens. And then they're asked to go back to their own country. Where can they go, you know? Does it make sense? Okay, so thank you all for your answers there. Now, to summarize what you guys have already answered on the board, okay, racism is the belief that people who have a different skin or nationality or religion or even culture are inferior. So the idea was actually developed over thousands of years ago, and it has been used to justify the oppression of many different groups of people. For example, so that's why your parents don't want you to live in Europe or the US. Oh, because they're afraid you might face racism. Okay. When I was an exchange student, okay, let me tell you my story for a bit. I also experienced something like this. Yeah. The old man, I was at a subway station. Yeah, I was at a subway station, and the person who saw me found that I looked a little bit different than where they are from, right? So he looked at me, and, and the old man was actually drunk, and he started saying, I should go back to my country in his own language, but I understood it. He was screaming at me actually in his own language. All right, but I totally understood it. And he was drunk and in the subway station, so I just walked away, minded my own business, rather than just keeping that old man angry, right? I was afraid of something that might happen. All right, so I think when Muji mentioned that your parents don't want you living in the Europe and the US, it was also scared about the safety reasons as well. Yeah, there are a lot of very dangerous accidents. No, not accidents, incidents. Yeah, dangerous incident that has happened because of racism. Yeah. Now, the topic of racism also connects to the SDG of equality as well. I'm not sure which SDG is it. I don't quite remember. Let me... where is it? I think it's number 10 in reduced inequalities. Yeah. Why is it only US or us? Hate it when people say like that, like, isn't this whole planet our habitat? Right? We could live wherever we want, yeah. Why is it only us in the class? Oh, yeah, yeah. It's just two of you for now in this booster lesson. Okay? Okay, now, so that was briefly on what is racism. So when we are talking about racism, what does the word race mean? Okay, so in the past, people believed that there were different races of people. People who shared common physical features such as skin color, hair type, facial features, character, or skills, right? And racists have used this idea, right, to label certain races as different and inferior. Yeah, like white people. Yeah, like white people, Asians, Latinos, and Latinas. Yep. However, we now know that through genetics that there is just one species to which we all belong, and that people of all colors and appearances have a similar potential. Okay, just because someone is Asian does not mean they are better at studying, for example, right? Just because someone is black doesn't mean they are a really fast runner. Just because they are white doesn't mean they are better at swimming, okay? Other people can also be better at swimming, right? Sometimes they're better at swimming is because of their genetics, right? Simply science. The physical differences between people around the world are external and not internal, and are caused by the adaptation of people over long periods of time to different environments. Now, can you guys tell me, why do you think some people are racist? What are some of the reasons about why people are racist? Close-minded? Okay, yeah. How do you think they became close-minded, Muji? Maybe they time traveled from the 17,000s, 1700s? Maybe, yeah, all right. So you make a really good point there when you say it was an idea that was developed a long time ago. All right. So like Muji said, racism it was because people are still racist now because they are close-minded. Okay, and that's because they time traveled to 1700s. And maybe they are raised in a racist environment as well. Okay, there we go. And you make a good point there. Now, some children get their prejudice because they were raised in that environment. Okay, either from their peer groups as well. Okay, maybe from the influence of their friends, for example. Okay, if they continuously hang out with those kind of friends, they might become part of it as well. Okay, so racism is actually something that is learned. Okay, we are actually not born with it. So a parent can be racist if, however, if the children were taught in school that racism is something that shouldn't be in the ideology of someone, okay? And if that is continuously taught by the teachers in school, that children might have a different ideology from the parent. I see you are typing a very long text there, Buchi. Okay, let's see. You saw a video on YouTube where a white person said they experienced racism in a neighborhood with people of color, and the black people in the interview said it was just bullying. Oh, is that a popular video? It's just a short. Okay, no worries. Can I dinner? We have about 10 minutes left into the lesson, Leona. Is it okay if you wait for 10 more minutes? If you can bring the food or grab something to drink first while the lesson is ongoing. Now, another part of the reason why... Okay, you may. Okay, if it's in front of you and you can listen to the lesson, that's fine, right? Now, okay, fabulous. Now, another reason why some people are racist, it could also be due to ignorance and fear. Okay, so some people fear things that they do not know much about. For example, some people would say, all right, black people are very dangerous people, right? People of color, they're not very educated, for example, okay? But sometimes they would say, where, let's say, someone of color, Latinas or Latinos, right? So they apply for a job, okay? And they see that their race from there. And based on that, facts, you have this stereotype. Yeah, you think like, I don't think they're gonna be able to do this job, so let's skip them. Something like that. Maybe because of their background. Okay, you say, I don't think they're gonna be able to do this, but you don't know what kind of experience or things that they might be able to do. All right. Sometimes I'm scared of people of color because they tower over me, and they're bigger than you are. Okay, I understand that feeling. Yeah. It feels very claustrophobic being surrounded by people who are taller than you. But I also want to befriend them. Yeah, all right. So before you judge someone, okay, based on your first impression, it is important to get to know them first. Okay, who knows? Maybe behind that really tall person, they're a very, very cute person. They're a very funny person, a humorous person. Okay, now, racism can be in many, many forms. Okay, it can take forms ranging from verbal abuse to physical attacks towards a person or a property. Okay, racism can also be nonverbal. For example, denying a person from a minority ethnic background a job or entry to a restaurant or shop. You see this a lot in you actually see this a lot in purely on the grounds of their race, nationality, or religion. I've seen white people only church. Ow. Why would they do? Okay. Exactly, yeah. You don't need to be a certain color to meet God, you know? What matters is that you are true and value. It's your own values and your own belief to it. Yeah, so people who frequently, sometimes,